Hey guys, I'm Sean McCauley with Cloud Defensive, and this one is for all of you Surefire guys and all of you Unity guys. We've been listening to you, and I know a metric ton of you have asked and begged us to accept Surefire tail caps, and now we have. So what we've got here is the simplest solution, and what I think is going to be the best solution for everybody involved, including Surefire and Unity, if we're being honest. We just made a body that's going to work with existing Surefire tail caps, which means if you have Unity switches and Surefire switches and switches from other companies, they're just going to play nice now. So super simple. We're calling it the legacy body for obvious reasons. There's countless amounts of those switches out in the wild and have been for decades. I think, as everybody knows, we have our own proprietary switching systems, and we do that for a very specific reason. By bringing that in-house, we're able to give a level of performance that's just unprecedented in the industry. That's really meaningful to us, but at the same time, we understand that there's a ton of switches out there where we understand there's a ton of you guys who are heavily invested in those systems, and it's important to us to offer solutions for you guys that work for you right now. And that's the genesis of this. This is where it came from. And so with the new legacy body, it plays very, very nicely with those systems. And originally, we had substantial concerns about basically the decrement in power and performance with that, and we were able to overcome that to a large degree, to an acceptable degree. So you're retaining about 90% of what the 3.0 is capable of, meaning you're seeing about a 10,000 candela drop with this legacy body through these other switches. But for us, a 10% drop, while not optimal, is absolutely acceptable. And I think for a lot of you guys it will be. So much so that if you put fresh batteries, all things being equal, and you go side by side with ours and with a Unity tactical setup, for example, through a Surefire UE07 or even a DS00 tail cap, you'll see the difference on a meter, but you're not gonna see it just with the naked eye when you're out at the range. It's gonna look like two really good lights going down range. So once we were able to do what we had to do to ensure that the decrement wasn't substantial enough to cost you guys performance, that met the criteria, right? And like I said, the path of least resistance for everybody, Surefire, Unity, ourselves, was just to create a body that accepted all those components. So if you have Unity switches, if you have Surefire switches, if you have anybody else's switches, all you need now is this legacy body, and if you don't have a light head from us, you need a light head. So, wanted to get you up close and take a look here. These are the switches. You've got the Unity taps, we work with that one. You've got their new Axon switch, really awesome by the way, we work with that one. We've got the Unity hot button, the Surefire ST07, the Surefire SR07, and then their Surefire DIT switch, and mod button. No, I'm kidding. We absolutely work with the mod button too. So regardless of whatever you have here, as you can see, they all plug in through the standard port via the Surefire switches. And like I said, it's that easy. The legacy body, just so you can kind of see it up close here, looks a little bit different, right? So we deleted the laser mark, we engraved the logo in it, so it's more of a subdued look. And then, just kind of impromptu here, take this apart for you. It just screws right on there. So it's literally plug and play. If you have one of these systems already on your gun, all you got to do is take your light off, put this on, and then thread it back together, and you're right back in it. In terms of price point, guys are going to be asking about that. The legacy body by itself is going to be $74.99. We're going to make this really cost effective for you to get the light body and go. Many of you guys, I think, are going to need a 3.0 light head. We're making that really cost effective too. So from us, you'll be able to buy either just the body standalone, or you'll be able to, via drop-down menu, add a light head. So then you can put that on your gun and go to work. So when you get your legacy body and maybe a REIN 3.0 light head, when you look down the tube there, if you're familiar with the REIN and how it's typically set up, there's a battery jack feature in there. And just to kind of, again, rehash what that is, it's a patented feature that we created that tensions the battery, that prevents battery bounce, which is not something you want to encourage in a rifle, right? We had to delete that feature from the legacy body. Not because we wanted to, but because we had to. Mechanically, it just was not going to work with the other components. So, as such, you may or may not experience battery bounce, which is native to all the other systems. So there's nothing new there. I think you're going to be fine. Don't worry about that, but just understand that without the battery jack, I can't promise that. And the other reality is, in order to maximize the performance, we had to stick with our 18650, right? But because the battery jack is a tensioning device, it's also a device that controls the compatibility of batteries within the system. So without that, we're a little bit less compatible with certain button top batteries with this legacy body. Our batteries work, any flat top works. There will be some limited compatibility with some unprotected button tops, but those protected button top cells, I think you probably are not going to be successful with. I don't want to rule it out. I'm just saying there's a lot of batteries out there. We would highly recommend stick with the Cloud flat tops or Samsungs, Sony's, a lot of other good batteries out there, and you're going to be just fine. And again, this is still dual fuel compatible too. I know a lot of you guys are wanting to run CR123s or need to run them for some reason. You're good to go. But yeah, that's pretty much the overview. It's just a light body, but at the same time it's not. I just wanted to give you guys all of the information possible and to show you all the switches that we're working with. So one question I think people are going to ask with regards to the legacy body is, can I put a Surefire head or a Mod Light head on that body? The answer is no. And this is one thing we don't talk about too much, but I think it's worth noting. We have more threads on ours, and I don't know if you've got a REIN, you've experienced that where you have to kind of thread it on for longer than you might be expecting. We do that for a couple of reasons, up to and including it just helps us ensure better electrical contact, and it's just more rigid on your gun. So as such, our light heads are proprietary in terms of the thread. So nobody else's light heads are going to work on your legacy body. So that's about it. The legacy body is a very simple product. Again, we're playing nice with other companies. We always have, always will. And I think for you guys, this is gonna make a world of difference. I know there's a ton of you out there who've been asking for this. We're listening to you, so keep those comments coming, and we appreciate the support.